Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Goblin Views. I am your titular goblin, and today I'm accompanied by the lovely Akasha, and we are going to review some more Spider-Man comics for you, specifically the Amazing Spider-Man number 81 to 90.
Yeah.
This is the original run made by Stan Lee and John Romero is doing it right now, right?
John Romita.
Romita is doing the... There's no one else right now, right? It was Ditko, but now it's Romita.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm going to quickly check the audio, so let me just do that. Alright, if I can be heard, you most definitely can be heard, so that's good.
Yeah.
Oh. For the review, though, we are going to be attempting... to make Doc Ock. We don't know how well that's gonna go, but
we've been putting it off.
Well, yeah, he also hasn't shown up. Well, when he showed up the last time, wasn't there someone that we wanted to do more?
Well, no, it's just that we didn't want to do Doc Ock. We kept putting it off.
Okay. All right. I guess before we get into it, what are your thoughts about this week's slew? Yet again, just as a reminder, it is number 81 to 90 in the original run for the Amazing Spider-Man. So
I friggin' liked it. I think I liked it more than you did.
I mean, I liked it a lot. The thing is, I just wasn't like you were beaming about it. It's just the same as last week, where I thought last week's was just really, really good, and you didn't think it was as good,
bruh. But the difference is that I'm right.
It's not how this works.
No, They lied. They lied to us.
Who, Stan and Romita?
Yeah, they said no more multi-parters. These are fucking multi-parters.
Almost all of them, at least in some way.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think that Stan thinks he's getting away with it because he's not really drawing attention to the fact that they're two-parters.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, oh, this is happening next week. Instead of being like, see this happen next week. You know what I mean?
I guess.
I don't know how to explain it.
You gotta change the tag from Minecraft.
I already did.
It says Minecraft on my thing.
It's not on it.
Okay. Anyhow, I don't know, there's like a lot of repeating things happen that have happened before, but for some reason they're more dynamic to me in this slew of comics. I like them a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are my thoughts.
Alright, and I guess my thoughts is I liked them, I just didn't feel... There was some cool shit that we're gonna get into. So let's just get into it.
Yeah, like, first cool thing, Kangaroo.
The person I forgot was even in this week's review, until I looked back at my notes.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with the Amazing Spider-Man number 81, The Coming of the Kangaroo.
Yeah.
So what is Kangaroo coming to?
Kill?
Not necessarily.
Hot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. The end. No, so I guess they get into it later, but I'll explain him right now. So there's this man from Australia who went to go live with kangaroos and study them. He said he ate everything they ate. He did everything they did. He moved the way they all moved. So he eventually, through training, developed the skills of a kangaroo. But people were so frightened of his talent in Australia that they were going to put him in jail.
That's not what happens.
What happens?
What happens is that he becomes a wrestler.
Yeah.
And he accidentally kills someone in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
And that is why he is wanted.
Yeah.
Because he has these superhuman abilities where he can jump really high like a kangaroo, but he accidentally kills someone in the ring, So he's now on the run from the law. So he's a sympathetic character in that sense.
Yeah.
I actually, as much as we're shitting on him, I don't mind the kangaroo.
I thought he was gonna be like a kangaroo humanoid hybrid. So
Yeah, I thought he was gonna come like dressed in like a kangaroo suit and shit, which I don't know.
He's just an Australian guy.
Yeah. But
Your typical Australian.
He kind of reminds me. He's like the Australian Kazar.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? He's just like, because Kazar is kind of like a tiger to represent Zabu.
Yeah, I guess
you know what
so.
I mean?
Kazar's better though.
Kazar's better.
Yeah.
Kazar is better. Kazar wears a suit.
Yes.
Um.
And then he rips it off.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah. So the kangaroo. His plot is that he gets to America or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he plans
eating a hamburger. Because he's in America, and that's a must-do.
Uh-huh.
He's not doing that.
Yeah, he is.
Anyhow.
I'm doing something wacky with this Doc Ock. I'm going to try it.
Okay.
I don't know how it's going to work, but...
Okay. But, he's like he gets off at the train station.
Well, yeah, so the reason Peter knows about him in the first place is because he's meeting May at the train station. She's returning from her vacation.
In Florida.
Yeah, for the 7,000th time. That's one of the criticisms I will give this shit.
Oh man, all these goddamn vacations.
Well, not even that. It's like all these characters just fall into doing the same thing over and over and over. Harry is Peter's best friend until
they never talk.
Well, yeah, they never talk, and then he gets mad about it, and then someone tells him to not be mad about it, and then they're best friends, and then he gets mad about it, and then someone tells him not to be mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
maybe going on all these vacations.
Well, no, Aunt May has a fainting spell, and then she goes on a vacation. She has a fainting spell, and then she goes on a vacation. Mary Jane is barely in this anymore. Like, she's in it, but she doesn't show up very much to make room for Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just, like...
mean?
Mary Jane?
Yeah.
She's only mean to Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's...
But you only ever see her in tandem with Gwen.
True. Very true. So she does always just come off as mean.
Yep.
What else? We have Peter. Peter's more complex. I mean, he kind of always, though... I can't remember, was it this week or last week that I showed you? It was like Peter complaining about all of his problems. I think it was last week. He was complaining about all of his problems, and for some reason he complained about not being able to pay his half of the rent because Harry does. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Harry does not pay the rent, Peter. Like, you know what I mean? He just complains about the same things, even if they're not even things that are actually supposed to be complained about right now. Am I missing any characters? Oh, Gwen. Gwen's kind of become less annoying Betty Brant, kinda, which is sad to say, because she just kind of worries about Peter all the time now, because he disappears a lot, and it's like the exact same dynamic. And I guess, not to super get... Well, we all know it. She dies. Mm-hmm. Which makes us sad because there's something that happens in this slew of comics that made us really upset. But she obviously dies, and it's like... I hope there's at least a little bit of time before she dies where she knows, so we can have her just, like, being supportive of Peter or so... I don't know. You know what I mean? It's always the same thing where she's just like, where have you been, Peter? You never there, Peter.
You're making me angry, Peter.
Yeah, it's just, you know what I mean, though?
Mm-hmm.
Off on my side.
Anyhow, off
shit.
to a much better character.
The kangaroo.
Yes.
Who's never the same. He's always changing. He's always
dynamic.
He's always evolving. He's the most dynamic character since the Prowler. But yeah. That was your phone going off.
No, I don't have that noise.
My phone's not here, is it? Oh, shit. Fuck.
You fool!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't think my phone was here. But yeah, the Kangaroo's plot is that he wants to steal money, so that he can. I don't even think I wrote down why he wants. I don't think they give us he just wants to steal money.
He just wants money.
But he accidentally steals a deadly plague.
Yes.
Like a vial of a deadly plague, because he steals like a random suitcase from a random dude. But yeah, he steals a plague, so Spider-Man sees this on the news and goes out to fucking head him off. Oh yeah, so we didn't talk about this. So after Peter picked her up at the, and I did this in my notes too. I forgot to write this until afterwards, so that's funny that we forgot to mention it. When he picked her up at the train station, they witnessed the escape of the kangaroo, so that was another reason that he knew of his existence or whatever. But she like forces him to come home with her.
Yeah.
And let her watch over him.
Like rest up.
Yeah, but he knows he needs to go out and stop him, so he leaves a web dummy.
Oh god.
In his bed place. Like a fucking actual cartoon character. And goes out as Spider-Man to head off the kangaroo. Obviously, during the fight, she instantly finds this fucking web dummy and has a huge freak out. Thinking something happened to Peter. So basically, it's funny that the kangaroo basically is a very strong character. Apparently, because Spider-Man can't defeat him, he has to like outmaneuver him in order to actually get what is it, the vial?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Well, he also, it's not that the kangaroo's super powerful, he also has to be careful of the vial, because it's in
but he leaves without defeating him.
I know, but it's because he says, the first thing I need to do before anything is get the vial.
True.
Because it's in his little breast pocket, and the kangaroo doesn't know what it is. He's just like, oh, whatever, I don't know what the fuck this is, like, fucking new monster flavor they're testing or something, and he puts it in his pocket and doesn't realize.
What monster flavor?
Well, I don't know. It's secret.
Fuck.
But yeah. So Spider-Man can't hit the vial, or it will unleash a deadly virus that will like plague half of New York.
Yeah. But yeah, he gets it back. Kangaroo escapes as they do. And Pete goes home and finds Aunt May passed the fuck out. And he gets her into bed and convinces her that she was seeing things.
Yeah.
So now she thinks she's like getting old and like has dementia.
Senile.
Yeah, or is senile in some way.
Which made me really upset, actually. It made Peter really upset. He was like, I made her think she's fucking nuts.
Yeah, but that's it. What did you think of The Amazing Spider-Man 81, The Coming of the Kangaroo?
Well, I was actually expecting this one to be fucking shit, so...
Yeah, no, it's like...
It was a lot better than I thought.
It's not the best thing ever, but it's better than what I would think of for a random-ass dude that I imagine will, like... maybe show up once and then never again.
Yeah. I just thought the thing with the vial where he cares more about getting the vial than beating the bad guy was interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it really the Aunt May thing makes me really upset. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. It's well, it's cuz it's so weird because we've seen like, you know, Aunt May in the movies, and she's good or whatever sometimes. and we like her, especially in I like her in the new MCU trilogy. I like her character a lot. But then you see her in this, and like we were just saying, she just does the same things, and all she's there for is to just get hurt. Not physically. I mean, sometimes I guess, but she's just there to get the shit beat out of her for Peter's to suffer. So it just gets repetitive, and you're like, holy shit, this is fucking weird.
The kitties are throwing their fit.
Yeah, they're throwing paws at each other. But yeah. Did you have any other thoughts about 81?
No, it's fine. It was better than I expected, and I was happy with it.
Yep. I completely concur.
Yes.
So we shall move on to The Amazing Spider-Man number 82. And then came Electro, the return of everybody's favorite shock-based supervillain.
Yes.
The Shocker. So, Akasha, what did you think of this Shocker issue?
The Shocker?
Yeah.
He's not based off electricity.
He shocks people.
He's based off vibrations, you fool.
What?
It's not even the right fucking villain.
Whoa, what, dude? Yeah, no, I know. I'm playing a practical joke.
No.
What?
This is actually about Electro. You've been lied to. Okay.
All right.
So Electro kills Spider-Man. This is the last one.
We've done that joke multiple times.
I know.
Of this being the last one or whatever.
Well, if Stan can do it, I can do it.
Fair enough. Doc Ock kind of looks like a minion. Not gonna lie.
NGL.
Anyway, so Pete, what is he doing?
Okay, so Pete is fucking whining and bitching to himself.
I think he has a right to. I mean, at least this time. Sometimes it's like, dude, everything's actually fine right now. Just take a chill pill for 2 seconds.
He is thinking, he's having a panic attack, and he's thinking about literally every bad thing going on in his life. Him and Harry not seeing each other a lot. Or no, it's actually about the rent. It's not even about
that's what I was talking about.
It's not even about seeing Harry. It's about the rent.
That he doesn't have to. that no one pays. Besides Norman, the most richest person in New York.
Norman isn't even anywhere to collect the fucking rent if he wanted to. But Joe and...
What color are Doc Ock's eyes in your mind? Because we never see them.
Brown.
Brown? Okay.
Joe and George Stacy getting on his trail. J. Jonah being a prick. All these sorts of things are weighing on Peter Parker.
Poor Peter. And obviously he's also thinking about how bad he fucked up with his aunt.
Yes. Yep. And so, Anna and
MJ return to Florida, which frees Peter up from having to watch Aunt May.
Yeah, for some reason they were also in Florida.
Well, they already established that, Anna was. They never said MJ was, because I don't even think... Because they've said that Harry's been on dates, and the implication was that the dates were with MJ?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't freaking know either. But anyway, they're all there to check on Aunt May, and so Peter can go.
And he leaves, obviously, because that's all he ever fucking does.
He just leaves and he leaves. And then Peter's like, I gotta get dough.
Oh yeah, because he learns from Gwen via phone call that Flash is having another going away party because he's been back for a few days or whatever, or a week or so.
Yeah.
So they're throwing him another, they're going out and giving him dinner or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Peter needs to get some that sweet dosh so that he can chip in.
So he's like...
Oh, do we want to talk about the horrible Harry fact of this week's issue? Remember, if you all remember, Harry had a Fu Manchu that he was rocking, and it was looking pretty fly.
He shaved it. And you know what? I bet this is because I don't see the letter parts at the end anymore, because sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't, and they haven't had them lately. But I'm sure what happened is some people were like, can you get rid of that stupid mustache on Harry? And Stan was like, fine. So he's bending to the will of the fans, that's my guess. But yeah, the Fu Manchu is gone. Spider-Man goes to a TV studio for like a live talk show and is like, listen, I'm the best guest you will ever have, so let me be on your talk show.
And give me money.
And give me money.
And this time, they try to pull the same bullshit, because, okay, I even thought it. I was like, why would Spider-Man try to do this? Because he has tried to do it multiple times, and it has not worked because, you know, oh, you have to give us your address or give us your... And they do that in the beginning, but they're like, the guy who, like, runs the studio, he's like, no. He's Spider-Man. We'll just have him.
Yeah, forget about it. Which, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, what? When fucking Paris Hilton is on Ellen, do they take her social security number? Like, they're like, where do you live?
We will not talk about Ellen ever again on this review series. Do you understand me? Do you understand me?
No.
Okay.
Anyway. Spider-Man is on Ellen. No, but,
Spider-Man, oh my god. Oh my god, imagine.
Anyway.
He does the floss with Ellen.
Anyway, Hulk dab. But, well, Spider-Man is first at the studio to actually go on the show. There's like an electrical fire there's like a live wire, that has become detached, and they are trying to take care of it. And then this guy just like steps up and throws the lever or whatever, and it stops. And they're like, whoa, how did you do that? And he's like, I was wearing insulated gloves? I don't know. He's not fucking wearing insulated gloves.
Because he's Electro.
It's Max Dillon.
It's Max Dillon. How dare you? Yeah, it's Max Dillon, and he works at the exact same studio that Spider-Man is going to now have a TV live show appearance on. Mm-hmm. And obviously the people of New York know about this, appearance. What?
Sorry, I thought I saw a goose.
Okay.
Go on.
The people of New York hear about this appearance, and clearly the Daily Bugle will not stand for it. Mm-hmm. So they are on a tirade. But the reason this matters is because Electro takes the opportunity, and he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to J. Jonah Jameson, which he does, and he says, I will kill Spider-Man for you for $5,000. Or unmask him on live television.
Yeah.
Not kill him.
Yeah.
For $5,000. Which is funny because J. Jonah Jameson tries to undersell him for $1,000, but the second that Electro leaves, he admits to us, the reader, that he would have paid him $20,000.
Yeah.
For the unmasking of Spider-Man, which in what year is 1970? 70, exactly. That's a lot of scratch.
Hold on, let's see. I'm just
you
curious.
pulling up a converter?
Yeah,
all right,
I'm just curious. Keep going. I'll figure it out.
But yeah, obviously, J. Jonah Jameson is offering this, so Electro rushes out to...
Holy shit. Okay. $149,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Almost $150,000.
Yes.
It's a lot of money. All right, this is my Doc Ock.
He kind of looks cute. Yeah, I like it.
I did something wacky with him.
Yeah, with the arms, where he's like laying on one.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's like transporting him or whatever.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So what did he end up paying him? Or I guess he doesn't, spoiler alert, but, so if he had succeeded, he would have paid him $37,000.
What do you mean, for the 1,000 or whatever?
For 5,000.
Oh, in actuality.
Yeah.
So he was willing to pay 150, but he would have only paid 37?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Anyway, back to the actual...
Yes.
Spider-Man goes on the interview. We have something important first, I think.
Somewhat.
Well, no, it's actually very important.
Okay.
Pete attempts to go out and hang out with the group. You know, Flash, Harry, Gwen, MJ. But he snaps at Flash, like he usually does, because Flash makes a joke that he doesn't vibe with.
Yeah. 'Cause he's a baby.
Well, I don't think it's so much... The thing is, it's like, okay, a joke you don't vibe with, sure, whatever. But at this point, he keeps trying to hang out with him, and he's not going to change, but he keeps trying to. So...
But he literally just says stuff that I'm like, why would you ever get offended by that? Like, the thing Peter gets offended by is Flash says, we can still keep Puny Parker around for laughs. Like, at that point, I would be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Well, plus it's like been established a million times to Peter specifically that these are jokes.
Yeah.
Like Flash has said it himself. Everybody says it. Everybody knows it's a joke. Mm-hmm. And not actually meant with any ill intent. At least, like before it was.
Yeah.
When in high school he was actually his bully, but he's simmered down as an adult. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Peter storms out. And Gwen flags him down and makes him tell her what's wrong with him. And he kind of just like vents to her. Obviously he doesn't tell her he's Spider-Man, but he vents to her and tells her all his insecurities and how he feels and how
he's poor.
Well, yeah, he has no money. He doesn't feel like she deserves him, or like he doesn't deserve her. Mm-hmm. And basically to this she responds that it doesn't matter to her, and for the first time ever they kiss. Mm-hmm. Which is very sweet. Made both Akasha and I very tearry-eyed.
Yes. It is very sweet.
It is very sweet. Well, just because we were thinking about the fact that she also fucking dies later.
Yeah.
Those
bastards.
Which is going to be awful. I like these bits with Gwen. I don't mind these bits where she's trying to be understanding, but later on, especially in this slew, there's like an evolution where she's just like, all she's doing is being like, Peter, you're not here. Mm-hmm. And it's fair because Peter's not there, but it gets very repetitive. But yeah, J. Jonah Jameson buys Captain Stacy and Robertson tickets, and himself tickets to the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah.
And they all go out to watch the interview with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, do you want to talk about the funny bit where he...
Yeah, there's just a funny bit where, like,
he's preparing for the show.
Yeah, Spider-Man's suit got all scuffed up and dirty, and so he has to go launder it, but he... why can't he... Oh, yeah, he doesn't want... Like, he doesn't have time to do it at home while Aunt May is there, because he doesn't want her to see the suit or whatever. Which I don't know why they wouldn't have like a washer and dryer in their apartment, but whatever. Anyway, so he puts on a paper bag mask and goes swinging through.
Well, and he wears his. I love his. I don't know why it's never been like established to me as at any point that Peter Parker had his own iconic look for so long.
Yeah,
because he does. He wears a yellow. Either just a long sleeve shirt or a jacket that is yellow, and he has blue pants or sometimes beige pants.
Yeah,
but that's like his look that he has.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it. It fits him so well. Like that cover we were talking about last week with the Prowler, where he's being thrown out the window. If you haven't looked at it's fucking fantastic. But it's just that iconic look, the yellow works so well. And I think it's because they realized yellow is like the most standout color that you can see on, like, that's why they do like when Stan's talking to us, the text box is always in yellow, and even YouTubers and shit do it because yellow is just so clear to see.
Yeah. But yeah, in his paper bag mask, he goes and launders his Spidey suit before the show.
Yeah, it's just a funny little moment. It doesn't have any consequence to anything, but yeah. So Robertson, Captain Stacy, and J. Jonah Jameson go and witness the show, and they witness fucking pandemonium because instantly like the show barely even starts, and instantly Electro starts just destroying everything with no regard for other people who are there. Like, things start falling around, and people have to rush out. I'm kind of pissed that this has no... J. Jonah Jameson has nothing to pay for this, because Captain Stacy and Robertson quickly figure out that he is the one who did this. That's the fun thing about these Spider-Man comics, is every one of the characters is really smart sometimes, and they can instantly... Well, they figure out things that a regular person would be able to figure out.
Yeah.
Because J. Jonah Jameson even kind of admits it. But sometimes they're also dumb, which is stupid, but... Yeah, they basically watch... Every person in the building clears out besides the three of them. And Spider-Man, they're fighting... And he overpowers him by, he webs him all together, like his arms and legs together, and makes him overcharge himself.
Yeah, because he says it's like crossing live wires.
Yeah, I would see that. And he gets caught in a fucking explosion of epic proportions that like tatters his suit really badly. But he goes home and he bitches some more. I mean, this time, obviously, justifiably, he just got caught in a goddamn explosion.
Yeah, but this suit tattering will not matter.
No, which kind of sucks, because that's a constant they try to do, is that if something happens to the suit, like even in this, the suit was scruffed up from the last issue.
Yeah.
So, they try to be consistent, but the holes go away instantly.
Yeah, but Electro limps off into the distance, and Peter's angry.
Yeah, but what did you think of the Amazing Spider-Man number 82, and then came Electro?
I quite liked it, because it made me like Electro, because he does a bunch of little things that I like. Like, there's a part where he flies along the telephone wires.
They explained to us how he flies, is that he sends a signal to telephone wires and follows that.
Yeah.
Which is really, it's a cool visual to see.
And I liked the TV show thing because it was different this time, because A, it actually worked out, B, it was on Spider-Man's terms.
Bless you. Bless you.
C, it was a trap, but it wasn't a trap that was set up, like, beforehand. Like,
yeah, no one knew about it besides one person.
Yeah. And it just makes sense to me that, like, Electro would... I don't know why he would still be using the fucking name Max Dillon, but...
Well, no, because, remember, he's under parole. He's not hiding. He meets with his parole officer in this comic.
Yeah, but if his name is Max Dillon and people know that's Electro, why doesn't anybody at the studio go, oh, he fixed it because he's Electro?
I don't know.
They all go, huh, who is this guy? How can he...
So Spider-Man cannot understand that Max Dillon is Electro?
Yeah.
Or not remember that Max Dillon is Electro,
yeah.
Which is another thing we didn't mention, but it's like, whatever.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, I quite liked it.
Yeah, no, it's good. You said it was your favorite Electro outing. I don't know if you've already said that, but...
Yep.
Yeah.
It sure is.
I quite like it a lot, too. I really got emotional, like I said, with that moment with...
Yeah, that's also really good with Gwen and Peter.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like one of the best moments we've seen in the comics.
Come here.
But yeah, I finished another book, so that's cool. Review shit. Other stuff is in there, not just Spider-Man comic reviews, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yes, we will.
Alright, let's move on to the Amazing Spider-Man number 83, The Schemer. The Schemer's a dude.
The Schemer is a dude.
And he wants to take over Kingpin's racketeers.
There he is.
Or rackets or whatever. And, oh wow, you can actually see him. That's nice.
Yeah. Hi, Davey.
But he wants to take over Kingpin's group because Kingpin hasn't been seen since he got picked up by Mystery Woman, which
Yes.
it was
another
Goblin theory correct. It was his wife.
I don't know why he's scared of her, though. They don't really explain that throughout these comics.
Well, or why he gets so pissed when someone mentions her or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just like a woman. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But
He's crazy.
we start with Spider-Man stopping a group of schemer goons and learning of his ploy. Via banter with goons during fighting.
Yes.
We flash to the Kingpin. He's talking to his wife, Vanessa. Which that's remained the same throughout, because I know his wife's Vanessa in all of the stuff that he's in now, so that's kind of cool. But it's revealed to us that the Kingpin, he hid from his wife that his son died in the Alps.
Yeah.
But his wife thinks that it was a self-doing murder with
suicide.
Well, I try to avoid that because YouTube doesn't enjoy that word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really thought you could not find the word.
No, I was just trying to avoid it and saying, no, that you're fine. I just put these on YouTube, obviously, so I try to avoid the flag words that get you fucked.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We all know. We all know now.
We're 37 minutes in. They'll miss it.
Maybe. But yes, Vanessa does think of it as that because of the revelation that his father is the Kingpin was too much for him. Which is a fair point because we do learn in that he very much loved his father. But Pete sells some pics for very little money of when he fought the goons earlier.
He's chewing on something back there.
Is he?
Yeah. Davey.
All right.
Okay, we're good.
But the... Oh, God.
Schemer?
No, Oh, yeah. So after selling the pictures, Pete sees Flash off again because he leaves again. So say goodbye to Flash for another few issues.
Give him a big smooch.
Yeah, well, yeah, give him a big smooch, just like Gwen and MJ do. Which makes both Harry and Peter very jealous. But they all leave. Peter and Gwen go off, start walking on a date, and they get pinned underneath the car. It gets like flipped over by an aggressor car.
Yeah.
Peter kind of gets them out of there or whatever, and gets a spider tracker on the other car. He claims that they get saved by like a parking meter or whatever.
Yeah, like it was held up by a parking meter.
Yeah. But Peter makes sure that Gwen gets to the hospital, and then he instantly turns into Spider-Man and goes after the tracker. Which, I don't know, like, Gwen obviously gets pissed that he does this, that he's not there.
Yeah.
I think she's, like, kind of really justifiable in that anger, though.
Yeah.
Especially when he was also in the accident. I would just be like, bro, didn't you... And I know he's hiding the fact that he didn't really get hurt, obviously. But, like, she doesn't know. So if I was dating someone and I would just be like, bro, did you not get hurt? We were both under that fucking car. I know I passed out, but I saw you there as well.
Yeah. We were walking.
Yeah. But Spider-Man finds the car at the Schemer's HQ, his main base, takes out alt goons. He fucking swinging left and right, but he gets trapped under for some reason the schemer has a table that also doubles as a hydraulic press. I guess he does a lot of hydraulic pressing. And
well, they said like everything he has as a weapon or whatever.
No, I know, but it's just stupid. But it blows up and the schemer escapes, as all villains sometimes do, or mostly do. But Peter wakes up, goes off back to the hospital, and Gwen gets so mad that she just tells him to leave. That he wasn't there, but that's basically how it ends.
Also, I'm just wondering now, with what we know about the schemer, would he want to crush Spider-Man under a hydraulic press and actually kill someone?
I mean, he's trying to become the biggest... Either way, he's still trying to become the Kingpin.
Yeah.
He's literally trying to take over that no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you think, though, of The Amazing Spider-Man number 83, The Schemer?
I liked it, but I was skeptical. I was like, who the fuck is this?
It reminds me quite a lot of the Silvermane stuff from last week. Where it was like, I was very skeptical about it because it's just like the introduction of some random motherfucker that like has no consequence for like earlier and or later things. At least as far as we know. But Stan is doing a lot better with that. You know what I mean? Being able to write characters in that way.
Yeah.
Where you are kind of enthralled in figuring out where it goes next. But I don't like this schemer as much as Silvermane, in my personal opinion. I know you said you liked him more. You like the schemer more than Silvermane.
I didn't necessarily say that.
No.
I like both the stories though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. At this point I was still skeptical. I thought it was just kind of a whatever comic. The best part to me was the part with the truck, because I was like, shit, this is kind of fucked up. You know what I mean?
I didn't think it was a great comic. I just thought it was I thought it was serviceable.
Yeah.
And not like for me, I know you didn't mind it, but for like a Crime Master or something fucking lame and boring like that.
Lame and boring.
I was gonna say abysmal at first, but I didn't want to say abysmal, so I said boring.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, let's go on to The Amazing Spider-Man number 84, The Kingpin Strikes Back.
The Kingpin.
This isn't fun anymore. So, Spider-Man reads in the newspaper that there has been a $5,000 reward released for whoever captures the schemer. So, Peter, after this, goes to meet with Gwen, thinking enough time has passed that she's not pissed at him anymore. But she is. And he gets starts questioning him about things. So he gets just so nervous that he leaves. Captain Stacy sees all of this. It's funny, every single altercation that him and Gwen have, Captain Stacy is a part of. And, and not in he doesn't do anything, he just watches.
He just walks in and he goes, whoops, I shouldn't be here right now.
And then he watches the whole thing. He's such a gossipy bitch.
It's like watching a train wreck. It's just, you can't look away.
But the schemer beats up some Kingpin goons, being like, hey, you work for me now. And he sends them back to Kingpin to be like, I'm coming for you. And we see that the king or the schemer also has this cool fucking car. I only mentioned it because he uses it quite a bit. It's this car that turns into like a submarine. It can fly. I wrote all the things it can do. It's armored.
He hides it in a snowbank and then melts all the snow immediately.
Yeah, so it can have like a heating feature. Yeah. But he sends the goons back to Kingpin, and Kingpin is just so fucking rage-fueled by his son's death and hearing of this that he's just ordering him dead constantly. But Vanessa, like, storms in on this, and she, like, berates him because he promised her that she'd stop after the fact that their son had died. Their son's name's Richard, by the way. I guess we should... Dickie Wilson. Or Dickie Fisk, I mean.
Yeah, but Vanessa's like, you said you stop this shit.
Yeah, but...
And he's like, it never ends. It just never ends.
Is that your Kingpin impression?
Yeah.
Spider-Man finds the schemer in his little flying armored car thing, but he gets shaken off after he crashes it into the ocean and just submarines it off.
Yep.
But the schemer then arrives at Kingpin's HQ,
his home,
to stop the Kingpin. But Vanessa, like, appears before both of them to try to, like, stop the Kingpin from killing anyone more. But there's a moment where where the schemer and Vanessa both look at each other and they have a sense of it makes the schemer uncomfortable. And she has, like, an idea of something. But during all of this, like, as soon as and starts beating up the Kingpin, giving the schemer enough time to escape. And the Kingpin and Spider-Man start fighting, but Kingpin, like, instantly notices that both the schemer and Vanessa have disappeared.
Yeah.
So he thinks that the schemer has taken Vanessa, and instantly leaves the battle himself. Which leaves Spider-Man by himself, kind of not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the issue.
Just walks out of Kingpin's ruined home.
Yeah. But what did you think of the Amazing Spider-Man number 84, The Kingpin Strikes Back?
It was starting to heat up. I had figured out...
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Kingpin. I like him quite a lot.
Yeah, like, by the start of this comic, I had already figured out what was going on. Definitely a fucking multi-parter, god damn it.
Oh, yeah, and it goes on to the next one.
Yeah. I like the confrontation in the home because it just shows that Kingpin really has no... He just doesn't care. Like, his home is ruined by the end. He literally...
Well, and his, like, wife is begging him to stop, and he just won't.
And he literally, like, lifts up the carpet and, like, takes the carpet off of the floor with his bare hands. Yeah, I thought that was quite good. And then they give you this element at the end where they're like, oh, there's something about the schemer, which is the thing I was saying that I had figured out, but it's just interesting. You getting a root beer? Yeah. It's interesting that they actually give you something more to go with the schemer, because I was like, dude, is this some more like Crime Master bullshit where it's just like some random dude I don't give a shit about? But yeah, I mean,
it kind of is, though.
And looking back on this comic, I'm liking all the interactions with Captain Stacy more and more.
With Peter and him?
Yeah.
Captain Stacy's just a really well-written character, except he's really sexist.
Is he?
Every single time he witnesses an argument between Peter and Gwen, Gwen will go into a different room or something, and Peter will walk away, and he'll say something like, "Oh, Captain Stacy, I just hope you know that I love your daughter, or that I care a lot for your daughter." And then Captain Stacy will say something like, "Oh, well, you know females, Peter." Like, no, I'm not gonna go into specifics of what he says, because the shit he says is just, like, actually sexist, but he's just like, "Well, you know.
It's just shit where he's like, well, you know, they think with their hearts while men think with their minds. It's like, okay, go eat a dick, George.
George just ain't been having pussy in a long time.
Yeah.
So. It's fun. Yeah, no, that's my least favorite parts about him, but other than that, he's a very interesting character. Mm-hmm. Well, it's because it's like, I like the idea of a character that isn't J. Jonah Jameson that is also very interested in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And who is directly, like, related, or not, like, related, but directly involved with who is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the Amazing Spider-Man number 85, The Secrets of the Schemer. Here's where it all comes down, everybody.
Yep. But
we learned that Vanessa was not kidnapped. She was, she also hid away, because she didn't bear to witness
the violence.
Sorry, I'm gonna start burping now. Oh yeah. So, after learning all this about the Kingpin and Vanessa, you know, Pete gets a visit from Captain Stacy and Gwen, who they both start questioning Peter more, and Peter, he's like, "Oh shit, I have some pictures in my black room that I need to go take care of real quick."
Dark room.
Yeah. That I need to go develop, or they're gonna fucking fail. So Captain Stacy's like, "Oh, go on, my boy, take your time.
We'll be here."
Yeah, so Peter goes, and he comes back out through a window as Spider-Man. And he's like, "Where the fuck is Peter Parker? That motherfucker owes me money for our 50-50 picture deal that we have." Mm-hmm. And he, like, frames it that Spider-Man's gonna beat up Peter Parker if he doesn't give him his money. And this is supposed to be his, like, excuse for kind of why he's been disappearing so much.
Yeah.
Which is a good excuse, but why would he want to paint Spider-Man in that? It's so weird.
Well, also it's so they don't think that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same.
No, I know that, but he even says it himself, like, why am I painting Spider-Man in this, like, evil light?
Yeah, because now Gwen doesn't like Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But then we go back to,
the Stacys leave quickly after Spider-Man enters and barrages them with fucking harassment of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But...
yeah. But then we go back to Kingpin and Vanessa, and Kingpin sees a picture in the paper where it shows Vanessa escorting the schemer out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kingpin goes, "Vanessa, what the fuck is this?" And she's like, "I swear I did not betray you." And he's like, "I'm literally looking at the picture." And so we leave off on that note as Stan says, we don't need to stand by while they have their domestic dispute.
But Spider-Man finds the schemer, and his car at least, which turns out to be a trap. But Spider-Man finds him in this warehouse, and they have this big tussle. But Spider-Man almost kills the schemer by tossing him out a fucking window, mm-hmm. which he obviously saves him. But,
he captures him.
And, takes him to where the reward specifies, which you would just think it would be police headquarters, but no.
It's a dingy apartment.
It's not a dingy apartment, it's a high luxury apartment that Spider-Man has assumedly been to before.
Yeah.
that is owned by the Kingpin. And that's the reveal, is that Kingpin let out that reward.
Like, offered it.
Yeah. It's stupid that Spider-Man doesn't instantly kind of put together, because he sees the cops, or because, like, yeah, Kingpin does make people disguise themselves as cops, but it's, like, in a high-res top-floor apartment, and it's like, why would you not be taking this man to jail? To the cops, like the police station.
But yeah, so Kingpin is like, great, I got Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, he captures Spider-Man.
Schemer.
He captures Spider-Man in a net so that he can have a one-on-one confrontation with the schemer. And you wanna talk about that whole thing?
Okay, so the schemer is just some guy.
I mean, he is to us, kind of.
Yeah, he is to us. No, the schemer is Kingpin's son.
Which, yeah, it's kind of obvious how we've been talking about it, but...
Sorry. Yeah, so it's Richard who made a disguise, and he pretended to fake his death in the Alps because he figured out that his father is the Kingpin, and he wanted to come back and stop him forever because he was so disappointed in him, because he was, like, loved him so much before, but he got so embarrassed, and, like, basically his life ruined when he figured out his father was, like, a mob boss or whatever.
Well, yeah, because he would talk to all of his friends about how good his dad was and stuff.
Yeah. So he used all his dad's money to become the schemer.
Yeah. Well, what does this do to the Kingpin?
It shocks the Kingpin so much that he sits down in a chair paralyzed, and he just stares.
He can't talk anymore. He's a shell of a man.
Yeah. And Spider-Man leaves.
Well, yeah, because he's like, I don't know what to do here, and he leaves. He feels so uncomfortable that he feels he needs to leave.
Yeah. Yep. That's the end.
Yeah, it's a good ending. It's a really good ending. But what did you think of The Amazing Spider-Man number 85, The Secrets of the Schemer?
I thought it was quite good. Sorry. I knew what the plot twist was, obviously, but, I just liked how it was explained, and that, it does seem like he would be disappointed by that. I don't know Richard very well, but...
Yeah, I wish it was a character they had established he had as he had a son at least earlier at some point.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like the dynamic of the villain, like, having a family and having family problems.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all Kingpin ever is. I mean, his whole Spider-Verse thing is that he got his family killed.
Yeah. Just because, like, I don't know, they don't usually do the family sort of thing. It's just a one-on-one thing between Spider-Man and a villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I quite liked it, even though we don't know Richard well. I think it was well explained, and I think it makes sense. Like, his dad gives him everything. Of course he would love his dad, and then when he figures that out, it's just embarrassing.
Very true.
Yeah.
I like the reveal as well. I really like the ending with the Kingpin just, like, not
paralyzed forever.
Yeah. Well, obviously not forever,
no,
but
I know.
I wonder what the resolution to that's going to be.
I don't know.
How he's going to come back.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah. We'll move on to The Amazing Spider-Man number 86, Beware the Black Widow. You were saying that you quite liked this one.
I did. Maybe it's just because I've been reading this other shit.
Do you like the Black Widow as a character quite a bit?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I just don't. I don't fancy her in the movies very much. So I
don't either.
Yeah. I just that's all I have to go off with her character. So the second I saw, oh, this is a Black Widow centric Spider-Man comic, I was like, eh. And I thought it was pretty good. I thought the plot of Black Widow in this one's kind of lame. So Black Widow, well, she is Black Widow in this, but she was, I guess let's give her backstory in this. She was the Black Widow before, where she was a villain, and she had a husband or something. But she gets turned into an Avenger. Do you know how? No,
I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
Right now she's like,
She becomes an Avenger, I think she said, because her husband gets kidnapped or something, or goes missing.
No, I'm pretty sure she becomes an Avenger because Hawkeye becomes an Avenger and she loves Hawkeye.
Well, yeah, but there's something about her husband, though.
Well, yeah, it's just that she faces her husband in battle later.
Well, but she loses him somehow. I just don't remember how.
Yeah, like, he was like, used as, like, blackmail for her, or not blackmail, I guess, but, like, as leverage against her by the Russian government to be, like...
Oh, to be the Black Widow.
Yeah, to be,
and then she thought he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, she thought he was killed, that's what happened.
Yeah, because she defected.
And then she joins the Avengers because of that.
Yeah.
But she faces her husband as the Red Guardian.
Yeah.
Which is a character people know from the Black Widow movie. Not the same character, obviously, but... Well, it's the same character, but not the same... Like, he's her father figure, I think, in the movies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But she faces her husband as the Red Guardian, so she defects from being an Avenger.
Because it's, like, too painful that she basically kill her husband.
Yeah, and she wants to become the Black Widow again in this comic, which she creates, like, a new outfit for herself.
Which is the classic outfit you think of.
Yeah, the one that we all see.
Which is nuts.
The black one, not the new white one or whatever.
Which is fucking absolutely nuts, because a Spider-Man comic is
the origin
for like the classic Black Widow.
And I mean, they said at the end, this is the spin-off for Black Widow getting her own comic series.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the very origin of her getting her own shit, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Which I wasn't expecting that.
So you were saying, though, that her becoming the Black Widow this time, she's planning on being a hero?
Well, I think so. She never specifically says, but it's just like, I think she wants to be out on her own.
Mm-hmm. My thought was just that since she's reverting back to her character of the Black Widow, it would just be a villain since she was a villain before. No. But I don't know, I guess.
I don't think so. I think it's just that she doesn't want to be part of a team.
Okay.
And so she's getting rid of that stupid fucking costume that I hate.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wish I could describe it to you. It's just terrible, but it's just like...
I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's that bad.
It's not terrible, but it's like...
It's like purple, it's like...
There's a little cloak on it.
It looks like it feels like carpet.
Yeah. She's like wearing fishnets.
Yeah, but basically she wants to capture Spider-Man so that she can try to copy his techniques.
Yeah.
To become better at fighting.
Yeah. And so her class, like some of her classic weapons she makes, or not weapons, or tools, are actually fucking based off Spider-Man, which I did not know.
Yeah, like her
little wrist things, they're for like swinging around at first.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then they become guns.
Yeah, but basically Spider-Man's whole thing in this issue is that since the battle with Kingpin last issue, because he fought him a little bit before he got captured in the net or whatever, he has been feeling dazed ever since, and it keeps getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, once he's confronted by the Black Widow, she kind of kicks his ass.
Yeah.
But the only reason that she leaves him be is because she realizes, oh, his powers are something that can't be copied.
Yeah.
And I wrote, she needs to learn to love herself / her powers.
Yeah.
Is basically the resolution she comes to.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of fun. But we end this issue with Peter going home, fucking dazed out of his mind. He's getting more and more, like, wacky, in his head. He tests out his blood to see what's going on, and for some reason it seems like he can't see anything.
Yeah.
Radioactive wise or not. So he thinks that his powers may be waning.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's the Amazing Spider-Man number 86, the Beware the Black Widow. What'd you think of it? After talking about it, I think I liked it more than I initially thought.
Yeah, I quite liked it. I think just because I already liked the Black Widow in the comics, this really is not like a very Spider-Man centric Spider-Man comic.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see how someone would be disappointed if they were like, where the fuck is Spider-Man in all this one?
Yeah, it's like kind of half and half.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a whole lot to do that issue except for be fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And it just has kind of a anticlimactic resolution, but I like it because it just I'm like excited for Black Widow.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for her to do her shit.
I quite liked Black Widow. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed her character.
Yeah, and I love the costume change. Obviously, that classic costume is really good. And it does at the end lead to like a big thing with Peter being sick.
Yeah, I guess there was one thing we forgot to mention, that Gwen tries to make Peter promise her that he'll no longer take the pictures for Spider-Man after the confrontation from last issue, but obviously he's gonna take those fucking pictures.
Yeah,
bitch.
it doesn't matter. They don't don't talk about that again. So.
Yeah. All right. So on to the Amazing Spider-Man number 87, Unmasked at Last.
There we go.
And yes, it is the exact same thing as the last Unmasked issue.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I liked the last one. I like this one probably more than the other one.
I like it a lot better than the other one.
What, the one with Doc Ock? I thought you liked that one quite a bit.
I do, but I like this one better.
Yeah. Alright, but Pete's sick. Something's wrong. What's wrong, Akasha?
He has the flu.
He does have the flu. I more was asking, what does he think is wrong? He thinks he's losing his powers, but he has the flu. Which is the revelation later on, like
at the very
end that he is that he has the flu, and that's why he kind of loses his powers, is just because he gets really, really sick.
Being a little cheeky.
But Peter tries to go to Doc Connors to ask what the fuck is wrong at first. Because he doesn't know what's wrong. Doc Connors is in Florida, so while he's out doing that, Peter's like, "Oh shit, it's Gwen's birthday," and he's like, "I'm missing her birthday party right now." And while swinging to go get her a gift, just like loses all of his abilities. And like we said, he has the flu, so that's why. But he basically arrives to this goddamn party, delirious as fuck.
The party's over.
Yeah, well, the party, yeah, so, technically, the party's over, but who's left is Captain Stacy, MJ, Gwen, and Harry.
Yes.
They're all, like, hanging out at the after party or whatever at the house. And Peter arrives a fucking wreck. He's, like, sweating, and he's, like, got the Spider-Man mask in his fucking hands, and he's like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm Spider-Man. And the only reason I know this is because, or I'm telling you this, is because I don't have the powers anymore. But he says this and then instantly runs away. And they start all freaking out, being like, "What the fuck did he just say?" But he goes to a hospital as Spider-Man, recovers from the flu there. And the second he recovers and is not delirious, he's like, "What the fuck did I do? How do I recover from this?"
Yeah.
And what is his master plan that he has, Akasha? How does he rectify all of this?
Okay, so his master plan is that he's gonna go see Hobie Brown, who was the Prowler.
Good old Hobie.
Yep.
I love Hobie.
Yep. And he says Hobie, here's my Spider-Man suit and my mask. And he has on, like, a web mask or whatever.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, and he says, can you pretend to be Spider-Man and come to this location
At this specific time.
at this specific time and say these things? And Hobie is like, sure, I owe you. I'll fucking do it. I don't give a shit. No questions asked. So,
Well, but he even takes it as, like, he's like, oh, like, yeah, he's like, I owe him this. Like,
Yeah.
in a good way. Which I'm just like, I'm anxious, because I don't know if the Prowler is going to return again, if it will be him. If the Prowler does, like, I just hope they don't ruin it, because it seems like his character wants to do good.
yeah.
And I want him to, I like his character a lot. I don't want him to be fucked forever.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so Pete goes back home to greet all of the people he just told he's Spider-Man to.
Yes.
And as he's talking to them, Spider-Man comes in, and he's like, hey, thanks for paying me, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter explains that Spider-Man made him do it. I don't know what his explanation is for why Spider-Man would make him do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he really has a good one, but
Yeah.
they basically get convinced that he's innocent, and that's the end. But what did you think of The Amazing Spider-Man number 87, Unmasked at Last?
I like it a lot. I think I really just like that Hobie is there, and he's like...
We just like Hobie too much.
I do. And that he's like part of the plan because it makes sense, because he's like one of the only people who can somewhat move like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, and I just like the thing of, like, him having a fever, and it's so much. It's just so much him walking in. He's fucking sweating bullets, and his eyes are wide, and he's just like, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, he looks like he's fucking high out of his mind.
Yeah. I think I just like the reveal of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. With him just walking up to him with his fucking mask in hand, and
Yeah.
I agree. I know you already said it, but I really like the Hobie. I just like Hobie a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to The Amazing Spider-Man number 88, The Arms of Dr. Octopus, aka the lying title. It's got like 2 pages where it's just the arms.
Yeah.
So basically, this one is about Doc Ock becoming a better ESPer with his arms for at least half of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's in jail, and he's fucking stretching out his brain, and he's trying, we haven't talked about it in a bit, but if you remember, he can make his arms move freely off his body
Yeah.
with his mind,
Which is
because they're connected to him.
a thing modern Spider-Man fans would not think.
Yeah, that's not a thing that happens usually.
Yep.
But he can. And he does. So he's stretching out his brain, and the arms are getting shown off at like an exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
And he reaches it, and he gets his arms free, and he calls them to him, which obviously is going to help him break out of prison. Spider-Man has a little bit of a battle with the arms, but instantly they escape once he has to hold up like a fucking corner of a building from collapsing on people. And we also learn that Peter's just shit at school again.
Yep. This professor comes and talks to him and is like, can't have this many absences, Peter.
Well, it's not that. He's just saying his grades are slacking.
Well, no, he says, he literally says, even if you do perfect on all the assignments, you can't get a good grade. You can't get a passing grade being absent all the time.
Yeah. But basically, Ogg gets his arms back, and his first plan of action is that he hijacks a big-ass plane filled with very important people, including J. Jonah Jameson, and asks the United States or whatever for $10 million for their safe return.
Yeah.
Because there's like I think the world leader of China is there or something like that.
I don't know. They say General Sue.
Which you said is just a made up.
Yeah, it's just some guy.
Yeah, I don't know. But Spider-Man arrives and blinds Doc Ock, which proves to be the dumbest mistake he could have made. Because Ock starts fucking flailing about. Spider-Man gets all the people off, but Doc Ock just starts flailing about and causes the plane... It's like landed at this point, because he makes it land at a certain point, and that's how Spider-Man gets on it. But... Oh, shit, I gotta move around.
There we go.
There we go. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We don't want that happening. Here, I'll look at it at a different angle. But he hits the controls and the whole plane explodes and Doc Ock fucking dies.
Yeah, and that's the end.
Yeah, that literally is the end. What did you think of the Amazing Spider-Man 88: The Arms of Doc Ock?
This one's kind of like a lull.
I gotta be honest, I don't think Doc Ock's the most interesting character in these early comics.
No.
He's kind of like lame to me. Like, I don't know.
He do be kind of lame.
He just doesn't do a whole lot for me. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll get better later, obviously.
Yeah.
But right now, he's just like this. He also falls under the same problem where he's just the same character every time. All right.
I don't know. The only thing I really liked about it was like the plane part. Which the plane part is a lot of it, but just the part where he's clever enough to like be like, oh, I'm gonna take hostages or whatever, and that he's just like holding all these hostages in his arms, like the Doc Ock arms, and fucking drinking a martini on the plane or whatever. I like that, but other than that, I was like, oh, this is kind of a lull. I'm not a big Doc Ock fan right now. There he is. There he is.
Alright, moving on to the Amazing Spider-Man number 89. Doc Ock lives. No shit.
Yep.
That
was quick.
It's a two-parter. Who would have guessed? That Stan's a liar.
It's actually like a three-parter.
It actually is a three-parter.
Yep.
You're absolutely correct.
Stan is a fucking liar.
I forgot that because the third part isn't named anything with like Doc Ock, so. Alright. Spider-Man learns that no body was recovered from the wreckage of the plane. Like I said, who would have guessed? She's
being crazy over here.
So, they have a pretty good thing that they're trying to push in this one. Randy's trying to invite Peter to a air pollution protest, but being a real dick about it, which kind of fucking sucks. But this whole issue's kind of about air pollution. And how it's no bueno?
Yeah.
Well, because Doc Ock, later on, he's destroying a huge, like, chimney tower.
Yeah.
That, like, exalts fucking huge amounts of smog or whatever.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But Spider-Man finds him during this him destroying this, and they begin battling. I just wanted to mention this. There's a really cool bit during this battle where Spider-Man tries to, he ties all of his hands together and he fucking grabs the hands and he pulls Doc Ock forward and smashes his face into a big chimney. I really liked that bit.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention it.
Basically, this whole thing is just like one crazy ass fight.
Well, yeah, and I actually did write some. Doc Ock responds to this, to him getting his face slammed into the chimney, with throwing a whole water tower towards innocent civilians.
Yeah.
Which basically makes Spider-Man use all of his strength to. Well, now no one can see her.
That's okay. I can see her.
Well, move the. There you go.
Woo!
Basically, it makes Spider-Man use all of his strength to push the water tower out of the way to save people. And it makes Doc Ock able to throw Spider-Man off the roof of the building, which I never know why any villain ever thinks that's a good idea, because every villain does that.
Yep.
He can fucking swing, you idiots. But that's how this one ends.
Yeah.
What did you think of The Amazing Spider-Man number 89, Doc Ock Lives?
My eyes were kind of glazing over.
Oh, she's biting the corner of your laptop.
Don't do that to me.
Were they? I thought it was good. I thought it was a good battle. I liked the battle a lot.
Oh, she farted again. Shit.
Anyway.
It was a good battle, but I don't know, for some reason the ones where it's all the ones that are all just a battle really take me out of it. Fuck.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was good.
Okay, you keep talking about it. I'm gonna go light a candle.
I thought it was good. I thought that like I said, it's just Doc Ock kind of boils down to being the same character every time. There's no kind of innovation to him. That's why I really liked the bit with him rooming with Aunt May. I wish it was like elaborated on more, like it had been a whole issue where he had been in the house, instead of like a thing where he's like partially in the house and then he you know what I mean, and then it's done. But yeah, he's just kind of boils down to the same thing. But I thought the action was really good, and this is like the quickest one we talked about because it's just a big battle. But yeah, you good for me to move on?
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to The Amazing Spider-Man number 90, and Death Shall Come. This is a big one, everybody. So fucking prepare your butts. Spider-Man, after getting thrown off the roof or whatever, he dips into the building that they're in to like hide away from Doc Ock, which is successful, and Doc Ock leaves. But not before he places a spider tracker on one of Doc Ock's tentacles.
I bring salvation.
While leaving, Pete runs into Captain Stacy and passes out from like exhaustion from the battle, like just right in the streets. And Captain Stacy brings him back to his house to rest for a while. After he wakes, he returns home and makes a new special web fluid. Which I'll just tell you what it does now. It basically disrupts the mental connection between Doc Ock and his arms.
Thought that was fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, I wish it was like a liquid or something. Like, why is it his webs?
Yeah.
It's weird that way.
Well, and also, like, he sprays it on the arms, and that's what happens. And I'm like, how could they absorb any chemical? They're metal.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you put it on Doc Ock?
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
But, after making this, Peter finds his tracker, and I don't know why he doesn't learn from the last time, because this is the exact same way that Doc Ock almost defeated, or not almost defeated him, he blew up a building on him last time this way, was by finding the tracker and then tricking Spider-Man into following where it goes to.
Yeah. Peter should have learned his goddamn lesson.
Yeah, they begin fighting, and Spider-Man tests out his tentacle stuff, and it makes the tentacles start attacking Ock and all that shit, because it's just, there's no way to control them. But, they go off so hard that they start just destroying random things around, too. So they destroy a huge ass, we keep mentioning chimneys, so many chimneys, but it destroys a huge chimney.
Secure your chimney.
And, yeah, I guess secure your fucking chimney in New York. And it falls. And where does it fall, Akasha?
It falls on the street. Below. It falls on a man.
Well, it almost falls on a boy.
A man rescuing a boy. This man pushes the boy out of the way, but the man is killed.
It's a man we all know and love.
Rip George.
Rip George Costanza.
You misogynist piece of shit.
Yeah, so Captain George Stacy sacrifices his life to save a young boy. and Spider-Man attempts taking him to a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But on the way there, George is just like, I'm not gonna fucking make it there.
Mm-hmm. He's literally like, please, I'm dying. I don't want to fucking swing around the city right now.
And what happens?
He tells Spider-Man that he knows he's Peter. And
Well, yeah, he refers to him just as Peter.
Yeah. And he says, like, take care of Gwen because you're the only person she has left.
It's fucked up, man.
It is fucked up. That's really fucked up.
Well, what did you think of The Amazing Spider-Man number 90 and Death Shall Come?
I didn't think death would come.
Well, that's the thing with
Stan is a fucking liar.
Well, yeah, because he did the same thing with the Silvermane thing, where it's like, oh, he teases someone important's dying, and then it's just the villain that you've known for 3 issues.
Uh-huh.
But this, it's like someone we've known for... I don't even know. We've known George for a long time. Since what?
I'm trying to... So this was Mary Jane. Like right there. When did Gwen show up?
Gwen was earlier than Mary Jane, wasn't she? Here, I can just look up. But let's talk about something interesting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
While I look this up.
When he went to college, that's when.
Yeah, but
which was like 20. But
Well, I have something I'd like to bring up.
Okay.
Well, or is it? Do you have something about the comic? Because I'm gonna.
No.
Okay. My thing was, isn't it interesting seeing his death in this versus how he dies in the movie?
Yeah.
Doc
Ock did it.
Well, no. I mean.
No, I know.
With like what he asks of Peter at the end, because in the movie he tells him to stay away.
Yeah.
From
Gwen.
Yeah.
In the comic though, he's like, actually get closer to her.
Yeah.
Because he's the only thing that Gwen has left. That is very interesting. And it's interesting as well because he's always trusted Peter.
He's been around since 56.
Oh, okay.
So we've known him for 34 issues.
Yeah. But he's always trusted Peter, especially now that we know he knew he was Spider-Man for however long, which was probably most of the time.
Yeah, probably.
And he trusts him to do this other thing. And he trusted him enough never to tell his secret or confront him and let Peter do what the fuck.
Or assumedly, because, like, we haven't really mentioned it, but him and Robertson, throughout the past, like, 10 or 15 issues, have been, like, trying to figure out who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
Not in, like, a bad way, they just want to know.
Uh-huh.
But, I assume he probably didn't even tell Robertson.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, he probably faked not knowing to Robertson, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really not expecting it. I recognized in the cover the green suit, but I was
not even though. Go up to the Silvermane one, because he's wearing a green suit in that too.
Where?
The one where
That's true. That's Silvermane though.
I know, but isn't he wearing a green suit or no?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, guys.
Yeah, it is fucked up. I'm gonna miss him. I am actually gonna miss him. I like his character a lot.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest though, it's really impactful. I really like that one, but again, all the shit with Doc Ock.
Lame. Yeah.
Lame.
I agree. But other than that, yes, I think that'll do it. Yeah. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll let you know, but I don't think there's going to be a review next week just because we're going to be moving, but we will let you guys know. As a Tippy attacks Akasha,
Tippy, say bye-bye.
I will say goodbye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.